Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Speaking Spurs. Didn't think it'd be so soon to talk to you again, but here we are. Manager merry-go-round is back in play as another move falls apart. And unless you've been living under a rock all day or been stuck at work or a low signal area, you will already know that the Gattuso deal is off. It was pretty much called off late last night. So we woke up to that news this morning. Much to my happiness, I think we were all very outraged and had a lot of displeasure at being linked with him. Now, the main reasons for that were, his fiery attitude, the fact that we already don't like him from when we played AC Milan and he kicked off with Joe Jordan. Then there's obviously the fact that in the past he's come out with sexist and racist comments. There's also the fact that his managerial career hasn't been that great. Alright, he did okay with Napoli, but the rest of it hasn't been great, and he's kind of been handed a managerial career based on the back of his name, rather than with Fonseca, who had built his career up and kind of earned the right to take on bigger clubs. So yeah, disappointment that fell apart with the Fonseca, linked with Gattuso, thankfully falls apart, mainly because of the fans with that hashtag no to Gattuso, which was trending on Twitter and other social media. So, once again, us as fans, we've showed the power that we have. Obviously, fans up and down the country stressed about the Super League, and that quickly fell apart, and now this. Reports are coming out, apparently this one wasn't down to Daniel Levy, and this is part of the reason Paratici has been brought in. So he's essentially making all the footballing decisions. It takes the pressure off Daniel Levy, who undoubtedly is an incredible businessman, but doesn't have a lot of sense when it comes to great footballing decisions. But the problem is, there was nothing wrong with the Fonseca appointment in the eyes of Spurs fans in the end, because once you do your research, you realise he would have been the right man for the job in terms of, his attacking style of football, his ability to have a happy dressing room, please his fans, always gets on with his board. And then we're linked with Gattuso, this sexist, racist, hot-headed idiot that falls out with every board he's at. He doesn't last long in jobs, doesn't do particularly well. And I feel like it's a bit of a crime that they didn't manage to do their research beforehand and realise that us as Spurs fans would never have wanted Gattuso. But, the main question is now, who do we go for next? Who do we want to be linked with, say is nearly over the line, and then pull out at the last second? That'll be the fun that we look forward to over the next few days. There has been suggestions that Erik ten Hag is now the front runner again. Obviously, he'll cost us money because he is contracted, which I don't mind. Daniel Levy might, but I don't mind if we have to pay for a manager to come out of their contract. But we have been told that Gattuso is completely off the cards now. The Fonseca deal, there is no chance of resurrecting that. And the other one that I know a lot of you are going to be upset about, Mauricio Pochettino, is not an option. Okay, as much as I would like to say, look, just go out and pay what you need to get him out of his contract, it's not an option. Apparently he's untouchable at the moment. So, we're back in looking at targets. I don't know who Paratici is going to come up with next. I mean, how many more managers are there going to be from the Italian league that we're linked with over the coming days? Who knows? Look, there are still some good managers out there, but the longer we wait, the more depressing it gets. A lot of people are now saying, maybe we should go for Martinez. Belgium play good football. Look, he's certainly an option. I'm not going to deny it. But the fact is, I'm not a fan of waiting for a manager to come out the Euros before we bring them in. If it's going to be a case that we're not going to sign a manager until then by all means, have a look at Roberto Martinez, okay? But ideally, we need a manager in now. Like, the fact is, the players that aren't involved in the Euros, they come back slightly earlier than those guys that are. Pre-season is not far off at all. And you also want a manager in there to start signing players. Although apparently Paratici is the guy that is meant to be looking at the sort of players we want at the club, the managers aren't going to have as much influence as they've usually had over the years, because we're trying to build a model where it's very interchangeable from one manager to the next. They come in, the club is exactly the same type of players are in, so they just come in and coach them. That's essentially it. Our managers are now glorified coaches, which makes it easier to appoint managers in the future. But I think this very first one is just going to be hard to get over the line. And the fact is, anyone that we're going for now are going to know that they are not our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth choice. We're now looking into numbers 9 and 10. And the only way to sort of woo a manager in that sense is to say that we weren't looking at them because we didn't realise they'd be interested. So you're going to have to BS your way through it. So let me know in the comments below who you think we should go for next. Who do you think will be next? I mean, I have no idea. It's quite hilarious that Daniel Levy has managed to alienate the fans so much, and then he puts somebody else in place who instantly picks one of the worst possible options that they could have gone for. A sexist, racist, hot-headed guy that tried to take on Joe Jordan during a match. Bearing in mind, Joe Jordan worked with Harry Redknapp, who is a manager that is adored by the Spurs fans. So do your research, guys, before you appoint or try and appoint somebody else, and just get it over the line. So I don't know. I'm not going to push Graham Potter anymore because you know my feelings on it. But we just need to get someone in. So, when there's another update, I'll let you know. Obviously, you all would have known about this update. But this was just an opportunity to have a little vent of frustration. But, I mean, I'm not going to go over the top about it now. It's just becoming a joke. It's quite laughable, really. So it's hard for me to get furious. I think I was so angry at the possibility of having Gattuso as manager. Anything else now just seems laughable. I'm kind of chilled out and a bit done with the situation. But look, fingers crossed we can get someone over the line soon. Although we said we wanted them named by the end of the season. Then we said we were going to have someone in place before the start of the Euros. The Euros are well underway. I mean, a lot of teams have played their second game now, so we shall see. Another day passes. Another crazy day in the merry-go-round of life at Spurs. But anyway, thanks for sticking around. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It is still rapidly growing. Like, this last couple of weeks have been absolutely mental. I've had loads more subscribers again just from the last video to now, which obviously only went up yesterday. So massive thanks to you guys. Welcome to everybody that is new to the channel. Yeah, get your comments going. Don't forget to support the video with a like. You can turn on the bell notifications if you want, so you get notified when the next video goes live. But stay safe, guys. Hopefully we'll speak soon with some positive news. And as always, come on, you Spurs.